Hello and welcome to part 19. I am your narrator, Adam Corey. Now in this part, we're going to have to gather blabs before we can display any blabs for the member on their profile or on the home page. So we need a little form here. So let's put a line break right there. Let's go into the code view. Right there. Let's put another line break. Looks like it has one, but let's place one more. And right here, we're going to add a form. So you go into, where is it? Insert, form, and this will be a form tag. And the action will be this page here. So we'll just say profile.php. Keep it easy. Method post, coding type multi-part. Name of the form will be blab form. Keep it simple. Target none. It will default to self. Or you can just put self. Actually, it doesn't need it. You'll see that it defaults to self. So in between the form tags here, we're going to put an input field. So let's go to insert, form, and this will be a, which one is it? Text area. Rows, we'll make it, how many rows? 5? 4. Wrap default. Okay, let's name it blab field. Columns, I'll show you how to do something custom with the columns to make it 100% width, no matter what the size of your table is in, or the div. No matter what the size of your div or table it's in, it'll be 100%, or like 90%. We'll make it maybe 94%. Okay, so in here we can just go now, put a space, go down to style, or you can style it in your style sheet, which I recommend you styling it in your style sheet, but I'm just doing this quick here. So let's go to, and then you can put a class for this text area. You can have a class name if you wanted to do it that way, or you can put the style right in. So I'm going to go to width 94%, and you'll see that has a nice effect. Let's just throw in a semicolon there. I'm not sure if it needs it, but it works with it. I like to put it. Okay, so let's look at our design now. And then, actually, let's just go ahead and print out. See, right here, let's just put a print, because this is where it's going to go. I'm going to print their blabs right there. Right now, let's just print nothing, but let's keep it there anyway. Now we have a form that they can, actually let's go ahead and make it 98. 97%. Oh, that looks good. Okay, so that's where they can type in to make a new blab. So let's just say, and this content won't be showing unless they are the member who owns that profile. That's very important. And I'm going to show you how to, using the lesson, or using the tips we learned in the last lesson, how to show alternate content. We're going to be using that method here to display this little form and this little sentence that I'm about to place here. Blab away. Blab away. Let's get that first name, last name. And let's just make it first name. Place it right in there. Go right down here. Get rid of that last name there. And there you go. It'll just say blab away Adam. And then I'll see this if I own the profile, and I'll see this line. But if I don't own the profile and I'm looking at somebody else's profile, I won't see that form. And so that's how we're going to do it. Okay, so I'm going to make this only 3 lines high. That looks good, because they can't put many characters in anyway. So right here, let's type them a message of, let's say, just tell them 220. 220 character max. Let's get rid of their name. They know their name. So let's just say blab away 220 character max. That way they know they can't put more than that. And now, and if you wanted your blabs to keep more than that, in your database you can make your field, instead of a varchar, you can make it a medium text field, or I think it's a blob. Yeah, I think it's called a blob. That also works. And there's also tiny text, the tiny text field, but that doesn't hold very much either. So maybe medium text would be what you wanted, or you can just go with a full-on giant text field, like we use for the bio section in their profile. Okay, so now all we have to do is parse this, or make sure it only shows to people. Let's make sure it looks good. Columns. We don't even need that tag in there. Okay, and it has a name of blab field. That's all we need. So now, let's make sure we're going to be able to get our mechanism in to show that if we are the logged in member. So what we're going to do here is make a new PHP tag altogether. And a whole new PHP section, which you could work inside of this PHP section, but I'm just going to make a new one. Right before that one closes, you could do all this work in there, but I'm going to do it in a new section. Okay, so inside of this section, we want to check to see if this is the logged in user. So this is really, it's doing the check for us already right here. We're just going to run this check again, and it might be a little redundant, but I'm going to do it anyway. Just for learning purposes, it'll work. You can streamline your system later. Leave me alone. Okay, so if set session ID, we're going to make sure we bring this form. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's copy that. Let's put it right here where it needs to go, and let's call this the blab form. And this will be a variable. So let's put a $sign right there. So we're going to print out the blab form. So let's get rid of it here. Well, actually, let's go ahead and create this variable up top. Control C in this new PHP section. Let's just go ahead and put blab form equals nada, and then we'll make it equal something down here. If is set session ID, the blab form equals, in single quote, colon. What we gotta do is grab that whole form and that line. Control X. There. Now we have the blab form, and then we'll print the blabs right there. But you'll see what I'm doing here in a second. Right here. Paste it in. And that's it. Now, if the session logged in user is viewing the page, no, we have to make one more condition here. I almost messed that up. If is set session ID, if this session ID equals this member's profile, we have to code that in. if session ID is equal to this variable up here, which we form right there. This ID variable, and we'll be able to make sure easily. We don't need those quotes there. Okay, so if the blab, oops, put that in the wrong spot. Okay, so if is set the session ID, if the session ID is equal to the ID that was created here at the top of the page, depending on whether we're looking at somebody's profile or if we're the profile owner, then we put the blab form in. Let's try it out. Profile.php, FTP it up, overwrite the old one, view profile, and there's a blab form. It says blab away. There's no submit button yet because I haven't put it. Okay, so that works. Now let's go and view somebody else's profile, and I'm logged in right now, so let's go to the home page. Let's view Michael's profile. No blab form. That's exactly what we want. I can't blab from Michael. Michael can't blab from me. But if I view my own profile and I'm logged in, I can blab away. It's a beautiful thing. And then on the home page, now I'm going to show you how to parse it. Put a submit button, parse what they type in, and then we'll run a feed here from newest to oldest of their blabs, and also a feed on the home page of everybody's blab down to the second. Okay, and that'll be newest to oldest as well. Okay, so let's get in the submit button we need. So let's just go down here and let's go to insert form button, submit name, submit values, submit. Okay, and there we have it. Let's grab that, Control X, put it up here where it needs to render out, save, FTP, and now we should have a button. Let's view profile. Yep, now I can blab away and press submit, and now all we have to do is parse to see this blab field to get its value. And dictionary name doesn't need an ID. So let's go up here right before that where we put in the blab form. Let's make another set of tags, another PHP lock, PHP, close it off. Okay, let's make sure this one has PHP here. Sometimes it doesn't need it, sometimes it does. I just make sure, I like to make sure I have PHP written in on all my opening PHP tags. And so, let's see, let's save this. Now all we have to do is parse that sucker, and it's easy. Send it to the database, the new table in the database we made called blabbing. Okay, so for this section, keep things easy by just opening our register form, or the register script. We can grab that first line, go to the profile page, pop it right there. If post blab field, if is set the post blab field, then if that condition is met, we'll do things in this section right here. Okay, so we'll just go to the register form again, and there's only going to be one item that comes in. Let's see, profile. I think all we need is one of those. Let's see. Yep. Let's put blab field there. We can even call this blab text. No, let's just leave it blab field. This one is going to be, well, we already have the ID set on the page. If the user was able to use that form, that means their ID is set and we can access it. And it's already available because we turned it into a variable right here, see? So all we have to do is refer to that when we post into the database now. But first, we want to cleanse that data. So we're going to strip slashes on it. We'll do all these things to it. Where are we? Right here. Strip slashes on it. We'll strip tags on it, see how everything turns out. If it works out well, we'll keep all of these filters in place. If not, we'll tweak it. Strip tags. Let's see. Yep. This one. Sorry. I was looking at the script. I was lost in code. And this one. So we can replace the tilde. Or the accent mark above the tilde key. Whatever you call that thing. And let's see. Blab field. Blab field, blab field, blab field, blab field, blab field, blab field, and blab field. Actually, we want to change the... So let's go open the edit page, edit profile page. And we're going to change this one like we did that method. Okay. So instead of replacing it like by just removing it, we'll make it an apostrophe, but an HTML entity apostrophe. Apostrophe. I'm losing my flipping mind. Okay, so blab field here, blab field, blab field. Yes, sir. That looks good to me. I think that will work. Now we can send it into the database. Here. Grab that. It's beautiful. It's all set up and ready for us. Look at that. Bing. Insert into. What was that? Blabbing. Let's make sure that's the name. Create table. Blabbing. Yes, sir. Okay, so insert into blabbing. And we need to have ID, which will auto increment on its own, so we don't even need to mess with that or insert it. It'll insert by itself. But we do need mem ID right here. Here. Mem ID and the blab itself. The blab. We also need the date, the blab date, and that's it. Where are we? Right here. The blab date will be now. So let's remove everything after now because that's the last one in the list. The last value we'll need. And let's leave, let's see, the blab date, let's remove all of these. So Now we have 3 items going into that table: the member ID, the blab, and the blab date. We'll need 3 values here, so let's get rid of all of these. Leave 1, 2, 3. And there we have it. Let's just change this to memID. This will be ID, because we can access it because we created it here. So the correct ID will be sent in, and also the blab field goes right there. The blab. Okay, and that should do it. Now we want to print a message. So we can say here, blab output MSG equals, just initialize it there, and then right here, after it inserts into the database, the blab output message will be thank you. Oh, no, thank you. Your blab has been posted. Exclamation. Now all we have to do is print the blab output message variable down here by the form. Let's see, right there. So right here above where it says blab away, we'll make it have an output message now. If it happens to get set. Right there, that blab output message, that variable. Now we'll place that right here. Blab output message. Make sure we give it the old single quote space period space with the space period space single quote. That way the variable will display correctly. And I think that's all we need to gather into the database. We'll call this the blab input into database. Blab post place blab post into database. And here, well, let's try it out. Press Control C or Control S to save the file. Profile.php. We'll see if I broke it or not. View profile. Okay, now let's blab. See if this works. Hi. I made a Twitter clone and wasn't, make sure we put an apostrophe in now, even trying. I'm not sure if that's how you spell wasn't. That's how I'm gonna spell it. I made a Twitter clone and wasn't even trying. Too easy. I mean, it's not complete yet, but just about. Submit. Your blab has been posted. Make sure we put a line break after that. Your blab has been posted. Break. Now, when they post and it's posted successfully to the database, which now there's one, I just made the first blab in the Web Intersect database. Made history. Thank you. No, I'm just kidding. But the first blab is in now, and we have no way of displaying it yet. It's not being displayed yet, and I'm going to show you that in part 20. We're going to just show you how to display the blabs for each member on their personal blabs on their page, on their profile, so everybody can see. And on the home page, we're going to have a live blab feed going on. Okay, so we'll see you in part 20. Hang in there, we're almost done.